now let us understand gene. Okay, so I'll write here gene. So what are genes or what is gene? Okay, so to understand this, first I would like to draw the diagram of a chromosome. Okay, so this is a submetacentric chromosome. Okay, so this is one chromosome, and which this is one sister chromatid and this is the other sister chromatid held together by centromere. We all know that. So this is actually the centromere. And if you look into the chromosome, this particular arm is short arm and this particular arm is long arm. You could easily make out, correct? So this is shorter arm, this is actually the longer arm. The shorter arm of the chromosome is called as the P arm, remember it. And the longer arm of the chromosome is called as the Q arm. Okay, P arm, Q arm. You may get this question for your NEET actually. So you may get this diagram, and you may ask like, so what is P arm, or like you have to find where is P arm is there, where is Q arm is there. Remember, P is the smallest arm, whereas Q is the longest arm actually. So it's very easy to remember also. P comes first, then actually Q. So P is smaller, Q is larger, bigger. Okay, so that's actually the thing. Okay, so here I just want to that this is actually the chromatid, correct? So if I uncoil or unwind the chromatid, obviously you see a long chromatin, correct? So it's a long thread-like structure chromatin. If I just select this particular part of the chromatin, I'm going to draw the diagram again. So what you see is, you see the DNA. So this is actually the DNA. That means nothing but the chromatin is made up of DNA itself. Okay, so DNA, and DNA has nitrogenous bases, correct? A double helix DNA has nitrogenous bases, and we know that adenine, guanine, cytosine, thymine. So it has got a complementary base pairs. A always binds to thymine, guanine, cytosine. This is G, this is A. We know about it. We have studied in the previous year actually, that is first year PUC. Okay, so I'm going to write it again like this. A, T, C, C, this is G and this is G. Okay. Now, what is exactly gene here? For example, if I just consider this part of the DNA, okay, this particular part of the DNA has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 base pairs are there. 5 nitrogenous base pairs are there. Okay, if this particular 5 nitrogenous base pairs are responsible for the production of protein, if they produce proteins in our body, good example is melanin, is a type of protein actually which is produced by a type of gene. Okay, so if this protein is produced by this segment of the DNA, then this segment of the DNA is called as gene. Okay, so what is a gene? It is segment of DNA. Okay, so which actually responsible for the production of proteins. If the DNA segment produces protein, then that segment is called as gene. And one more thing is the genes are not present throughout the DNA. That means actually I cannot consider this as gene. If they produce protein, obviously I will consider as gene. Otherwise I will not consider this as a gene. It is not a gene now. Only in this particular DNA we see only one gene. Okay, it varies actually. Normally the genes number varies. But one thing to remember, that in a chromosome a particular number of genes will be there. For example, in my chromosome number 1, for let us say I have around 2331 genes. Obviously that same number of genes should be present in your chromosome number 1. That means actually we are same species. Okay, the number should not differ. In the chromosome, let us say third chromosome, if I have around 50 genes, the same number of genes should be present in your chromosome. Got it? Because we are same species. Okay, so this is one thing to remember. Okay, so this is actually the gene. Okay, the next thing is, I'm going to write, so what is exactly allele? Okay, so what is exactly allele? Now for that I just want to draw one more chromosome here. Before that, I just want to draw a cell. So we all know that you human beings contains around 37.2 trillions of cells. In that there are two types of cells. One is for the structure of the body, other is actually for the production of the gametes. Okay, so the structure cells are called as somatic cells, correct? I'll write here somatic cells, whereas the germ cells, which are responsible for gamete formation, the gamete cells will be produced from the germ cells, either sperm or ovum actually. Okay, whatever it is, let us just assume that it is a type of cell. It could be somatic or germ cell, doesn't matter actually. We know that in human beings, how many chromosomes are there within each cell? We know that 46 chromosomes are there. Okay, that means 23 pairs, correct? Okay, 46 chromosomes are there and that is nothing but 23 pairs. That means each chromosome has its pair. Okay, so there is one pair will be there along with the chromosome actually. So that means chromosome always occur in pairs actually. That's what I said, like 23 pairs of the chromosomes will be there. So this is one pair, this is other pair, like that. If you just go on doing this, you will end up with 23 sets like this. That means 23 pairs of chromosome, total 46 chromosomes are there. Okay, that is actually the thing. Now here I just want to consider out of 46 chromosomes, 44 chromosomes are somatic. 44 chromosomes are autosomes. Okay, 44 chromosomes are autosomes. What is autosomes means? They are responsible for the structure of an organism actually. So 44 chromosomes are autosomes, whereas allosomes, these are sex chromosomes which determines the sex of the individual, male or female actually. The allosomes are only 2 actually. Okay, autosomes are structural chromosome, there are 44, that is 22 pairs, whereas allosomes are only 2, which are sex chromosomes, which is always only 1 pair. Okay, so this is actually the thing to remember. Okay, now here what I am going to do is, like, I just take this chromosome, that is actually the chromosome number 1, which contains 2 chromosomes, that is the first pair of chromosomes actually. Okay, so here I am going to draw. Okay, so this is actually the first chromosome. Okay, so here what you see is, obviously there are segments on the DNA, or there are segments on that particular chromosome where you could see the gene, obviously, right? Gene is here. Okay, obviously, like, if it is actually the uncoiled structure of the chromosome, if it is not uncoiled, obviously, the chromosome will be like this, where, that particular DNA segment somewhere else, comes here actually. Okay, so this is the place or position on the chromosome where a gene is situated. So that means actually we should consider that particular part is locus. So this is actually the locus. What is locus is? It is nothing but a place or position of a gene on the chromosome. Okay, so here actually you see a gene. A gene is there. So a place or position of a gene on the chromosome, that is called as locus, where you see the gene. Okay, so let us assume that this gene is responsible for the let us say, like, curly hair. Okay, curly hair, and this is actually its pair, correct? Its pair. Okay, so here also you see on the same locus you see the same gene. Okay, so another gene will be there, that is same gene, both are same genes actually, but the ability of this gene may differ from this gene. Both are for same character. What is the character? That is actually the hair type actually. Okay, this gene is responsible for curly hair, or this gene is also responsible for curly hair, or it is also responsible for straight hair. We don't know actually. Okay, that is actually the capacity of the gene to express. As a result, more proteins are produced and making the hair type curly. Okay, so that is actually one thing to remember. So now the question is, what is allele? Let us just assume that we will name this as capital letter C. Okay, capital means this is actually a dominant gene which actually produces curly hair type in man. Okay, so the same on the another chromosome on the same locus. Okay, if you compare, you could see the same locus actually. Another gene is there. Okay, that gene is, let us say, small c. This small c is for the straight hair. For straight hair. Okay, so that means we have C and C. Now this capital C is also gene, the small c is also gene. Both are same genes. Both are same gene. That is actually their character is for hair type. Okay, but expression differs actually. The expression of the capital C will be more. The expression of the small c will be less actually. So now what is allele? Allele is nothing but pair of alternate, or like we can say the pair of genes or alternative forms of genes actually. See, that particular gene can express itself as capital letter C or maybe small letter c actually. Got it? So that is actually the allele. Alternative forms of a gene. Okay, you will understand allele later actually. Once I start with the Mendelian experiments and everything, you can easily understand it. No need to get confused actually. It's very easy. Okay, so that is actually the thing. And even, for example, like the forms will differ. It could be like this. That means both are small letter C. Instead of this, a small letter C will be there, so C will be there. Obviously, the offspring or like the particular person who is having this type of alleles, obviously he is going to have straight hair because both are recessive, not as strong as capital letter C. Both are small letter C actually. That is also allele. That how many are there? Two C's are there. So it is actually alternative forms of the gene. Okay. So the gene can express in this way also, or this way also. That is actually allele. Okay. So always remember, we all have two same genes actually because we have homologous chromosome. So now I have to write what is homologous chromosome. Homologous. For example, like if you consider this chromosome, this is actually the first set of chromosome. See, morphologically and genetically same, right? Correct? The genes are same, correct? Alleles are different, but genes are same, right? The genes are same, present on the same locus on two different chromosomes, and each chromosome size is same, morphologically same. Okay, even the length is also same, correct? Everything is same, even the genes also same, that is genetic combination, composition also same. That means this is homologous chromosome. That means how many homologous chromosome we have? We have 22. That is 22 pairs of homologous chromosomes are there, and the allosomes maybe like in case of male it is X and Y, so it cannot be homologous. Got it? It cannot be homologous because two chromosomes are entirely different. But till 44 obviously all are homologous actually. That means each chromosomes, like two chromosomes, will be homologous. See here, this is the second pair, both are same, structurally and genetically same. The third one, that is also homologous. What is homologous? If the two chromosomes are structurally and genetically same, then it is called as homologous. If what is heterologous? Very simple. I just remove one chromosome from the first set. I will just draw here. So this is the first chromosome. I am not going to draw this chromosome. Instead of that, I am going to draw this chromosome. Compare it now. Are they morphologically, genetically same? Or for example, if this gene is responsible is for your hair type, and this is actually another chromosome picked from the third number actually, that is the third set of chromosome, which is having another gene which is situated somewhere else. The locus is entirely different and which is responsible for your eye color. See, this is for hair type, this is for eye color. So genes are also different, and it's entirely different, correct? So that means it is heterologous. The chromosomes which are morphologically and genetically dissimilar, they are called as heterologous actually. So this is one thing to remember. So first I'll erase it and then I'll explain the others terms actually which we use it in this particular chapter.